Good afternoon and welcome to the 2 p.m. update with Tropical Storm Laura. Laura came in about 2 p.m., made landfall last night about 2 a.m., 1 a.m. Central Time in Cameron Parish, Louisiana, with winds of 150 miles an hour, a Cat 4, hurricane on the Saffir-Simpson scale, high-end Category 4, almost Category 5. And now it is, of course, been downgraded to a tropical storm as it's into Arkansas now, just a little bit to the east of El Dorado, Arkansas, in southern Arkansas, and is moving quite considerably fast still at north at 15 miles an hour. Pressure has come way up to 988 millibars, and now winds are sustained at 65 miles an hour. And most of the winds have been reporting about, still about 32 miles an hour, sustained gust to 55 miles an hour has been majority of reports in Shreveport and Monroe, Louisiana, and northern Louisiana, north of Interstate 20. And so there is Laura on the satellite picture. The eye is completely filled in and everything is weakening as anticipated. It will move across the Tennessee Valley later on tonight and into the mid-Mississippi, mid-Ohio Valley, River Valley later on tomorrow, and then into the northeast and out to the mid-Atlantic later on this week as they just rain and thunderstorms. So that's the good news. Predicted storm surge was predicted at 10 to 20 feet. It only came in at around 11.5 feet at Cameron, Louisiana at the Bay there. And so that was good news. The water didn't come up to 20 feet as high as expected. But we had a 137 mile an hour wind gust in Lake Charles, Louisiana. That was pretty high. That was one of the highest gusts recorded in this storm. And this was the worst storm to hit the southwest Louisiana coast in over 100 years, I believe. And so that was definitely that. We didn't have much loss of life, thank God for that. We did have one young girl, 14-year-old, that was damaged, that died as a result of a tree fell down on her house, on her family's house there in Lake Charles and Cameron area, Louisiana. So our prayers are with her family. But other than that, we were pretty blessed with Hurricane Laura. Of course, there's some damage, a lot of trees down, a lot of power outages. As of today, there's over 600,000 power outages, those without power in the southwest Louisiana area from Lake Charles southward. And so it's going to take a little while to get power restored back there. The winds have died down, but it's just that getting past, letting the water recede and also letting the emergency officials get all the trees off the roads and different places like that. So that's Tropical Storm Laura. As you can see, the forecasted path was right on the money. It did make landfall right between just east of Beaumont, Texas, and right there in Cameron, Louisiana, which, by the way, is kind of like Cameron is right there at sea level, below sea level. And so the forecast National Hurricane Center pinned it right down there, and it was a perfect forecast, and Laura did intensify as it was suggested. So elsewhere in the Atlantic, we don't have nothing else going on. We have two other storms that are tropical waves that are giving low potential for development, so nothing to worry about there. And in the Eastern Pacific, we have two tropical storms, twins, Hernan and Isel, but they're moving northeast and northwest away from the Mexican and Cabo coastline. And so there may be some showers and effects there for those of you who are visiting Cabo, San Lucas, or Tijuana, or any of these places up here. You may see some showers, increased shower activity, but nothing really sustained. Hernan has tropical storm winds of 45 miles an hour, and Isel is 45 mile an hour storm as well. And they're not really forecasted to develop. They're not really forecasted. They're forecasted to weaken into a depression. That's Hernan there as well. And Isel is forecasted to just kind of meander in the sea as well. And no weak steering currents out there and weaken to a depression by next week, Monday. So these two storms are going to be storms for the fishes and also for the shipping interest, but nothing really going on elsewhere. Toward the Central Pacific, nothing is going on with Hawaii, and no activity is expected for the next 2 or 3 days here. So we're all good with that. But Tropical Storm Laura was one for the record books, and minimum central pressure was around 938 this morning when it came in at 2 a.m. with winds over 150 miles an hour. Sustained winds, like I said, were around 120 miles an hour in the Lake Charles vicinity. At the airport, it gusted to 137 miles an hour. I'm sure there were higher reports before the wind instruments failed at the time. So Arkansas will get the most rain out of this thing. They may get about an additional 2 to 3 more inches out of Laura before it moves on and up through the Ohio Valley tomorrow and the next day. So this has been the 2 p.m. update. Thank you for joining me. Please make sure you subscribe and to the Weather Guru, and we'll be sure to count you and communicate with you soon here with the next storm. Have a great day.